screen, screen around to me.
Oh, I'm on this screen.
Yeah. Let me see if I can see it. Yeah, on the main screen, you should see a little circle at the top, where it says "You'll see me live." It should say Polka Dot Rabbit Podcast, and you should see where it's like a actually, you know what? Yeah, you should see me going live. But let me see. I might be able to actually add you. Let me see. Hold on a second. I think I might be able to add you. Hold on a second. I think I might be able to invite you. Hold on. We might be able to do it the easier route.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see. It's going through this whole tutorial, and this thing's getting on my nerve. Like I haven't done it before, but hold on. Let me. All right. Now I'm gonna.
Okay. Yeah, I just pulled you up. Your
Okay.
Brozo Polka Dot Rabbit.
Yeah. Do you see where it says? It should be on there. Where it says live. You should see me live on there, like a circle
Okay.
at the top. It says live.
Okay, it's got me sending you a message. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, live. Okay.
Yeah. Press that. Once you press that
Yeah.
live, you're gonna press the button, and it's gonna ask to join me. It's a little plus button. It's gonna say request to join. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Now press the plus button. It's gonna say you're gonna ask to join me. You see where it says? Like right,
Live.
it should be a plus button, like with a camera. Press that. Once you press that, it should request me. Where you're requesting to come on with me.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be a plus.
Live.
Peace,
No.
everybody. I see y'all coming in. I see y'all coming in. We just getting everything straight with the brother Lovell here, getting him straight. Just make sure he's live and effect and everything. So y'all bear with us, please. As you can see, he's here. We're just trying to get him on IG live. So
No, I see live. I don't see. Mm,
it should say request to join. It should say request. It should give you a request to join me.
hmm.
You know,
Follow.
it was just where you were. Because I saw that you added on here. That you added me on there.
Okay. Q&A, subtle effects.
Yeah,
No, man, it didn't. It's got a write a message.
it should say right there. If you press it, it should have a request to invite or join. Request. I should say request to join. That's what it's gonna say. On mine, when you come to mine, it should say request to join. We here. We just getting him the brother situated in situated on IG live.
Yeah, it
Rigged
shows
up.
me join.
Yeah, that's it. Join. Press that.
Yeah,
Yeah, press join. Let me see. And once you press join, it should give me the request. Let me see if I can. See if I can do something. Hold on, fam. We getting the brother. Getting the brother straight now. Getting him on IG live. Let's see. Did you see? So did it give you the give you to join?
No, it says polka dot waved at you.
Go out and come back in. Like go out to the profile and try to find me live again. You know,
Okay.
yeah. Or we might just see if you can do that. If we're not, we'll just switch it around. So we'll go a different route. If you went out, you went back in. And did you see the same like you were before, and where it says join, just put request to join. We getting everything rocking for you, fam. Getting everything rocking for you. But
Huh.
oh, there we go. Request to join. I see you. There you go.
No, Brother Zoe, it's not showing me anything else.
Let me see. Something just came on. Maybe it. All right, we'll go a different route then. I don't know what's going on with that. It's saying request.
It says I'm
I see
joined.
that. Yeah, I see that too. It says request to join. Hold on a second. This is odd. This ain't never happened to me before, fam. Let's see.
And Mercury retrograde, bro.
Yeah, I know. Good gracious. This thing is not tripping, huh? Let's see. It said a join. It said you join. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can try to add you. Let's see some. Invite to join. Here we go. It says you already joined.
Yeah.
That's odd. Your camera's on and everything? All right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
do it
can
the
see.
same way. I'm gonna do the same.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna do it the same way I'm doing with do it the same way I'm doing with the other side. So it might be a little ratchet, but we can roll with it. We can roll with it. We can roll with it. Hold on. I don't know what's that retrograde. You ain't playing, boy. Cause I ain't never had this happen. But it's cool. We cool, fam. Just stick around. We getting it. We getting it working. We getting it working. I don't know what's. It looks like it's like two accounts or something. It's kind of strange. But guess what? That's all good. I got it worked out another way. So we're just gonna roll with it. I got it worked out. So don't worry.
Okay.
We got it all we got it
Okay.
worked out. So cool. All right, fam. Sorry for the little mix up, but it's all good. We got it working now. We got it working now. Um so as always, we are here, the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. We got the good brother Lovell Rouser, master numerologist, back in the house again. Brother, how you doing?
Brother, I'm doing fine. Good to be here. Good to see you.
Indeed,
Appreciate the people that are online with us.
indeed. We always appreciate our folks online. We're gonna do things a little bit different today. We do have a topic. The brother has a topic that he wants to talk on, but we definitely want to get these questions up in here. You know what I'm saying? So um, let me go ahead and do my spiel first, as always. Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. Um, we are here to uplift all of humanity, and especially the melanated zombies that have fallen asleep and forgot who they were. We're here to shake the tree so the fruit falls. You know what I'm saying? To wake y'all up. And we have these great master teachers here, like the brother Lovell Rouser, that will do a very good job at that. Of course, always check my book out, polka.rabbitpodcast.com. And that is bicultural living and leaving the world of illusions. Pretty much my story of me getting to where I am today, spiritually, you know what I'm saying, metaphysically, and all the above. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. So now I'm gonna go ahead and let you introduce yourself, brother, real quick, and go ahead and make it happen.
Okay, then, Brother Zach, thank you. And of course, my name is Brother Lovell Rouser Jr., and I'm numerologist, live here in the metropolitan Atlanta region. And I've been doing numerology for more than 40 years now. And I would like to share with you some of my findings for this universal year cycle of the number 6 based on the Gregorian calendar of 2022. And the subject is the subtle effects of the year 2022 and how we can deal with it and move ahead in the midst of so much that is going on during this universal year cycle. But the first thing I do want to shine light on is the importance for each and every one of us throughout this cycle year, because this cycle year has a profound effect upon our health. And I encourage each and every one of you to deal with your health, to deal with nutrition, to deal with your diet, uh, to deal with any mental health matters with yourself and in around your family and loved ones. These are all important factors as we move through this universal year cycle. Please do not overlook your health during this cycle. It's vital and it's very important that you sustain and maintain your health. It's even better to enhance your health during this cycle with the skills, the know how, and the knowledge that's available. In America, among our people, we have many healers which are available to us now that can assist us. I would also encourage you to seek them out to improve and to enhance your health. This is very vital. And this ties into what I'm about to say about the subtle effects. We may not think that there is anything which is going wrong, but when we enter into the cycle of the number 6, there are areas of our life, or actually areas of our health, that we need to look at and to address. One of the things that's important for us to address uh, with our health is the process of elimination within our body. Too many of us have misinformation about elimination. And I just like to briefly talk about elimination to a certain level, because if you are eating, let's say, 2 meals a day, and there's 7 days a week, and you are only eliminating 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, then you have a health problem. A health problem due to constipation, a health problem that can lead to what's known as toxemia. And toxemia is nothing but the poisoning of the body because you are not eliminating enough and not eliminating properly. Okay? Proper elimination is one of the rules of health that has been forgotten about. Many of you who attended grammar school and middle school and high school probably had to take a course in health. Nowadays, I don't know if children are being taught that in the public school systems, but the laws of health determines how well we are going to function in this society. And once you move into a state of illness and disease, your profile, your category in terms of how the medical system looks at you, you're put, you're placed into a certain category that follows you for the rest of your life. If you're a person that's been diagnosed as being, let's say, hypertensive, then the medical establishment is always going to see you as being hypertensive. So it's up to you to make sure that you are not hypertensive, that you are in a state of high wellness, and that you can do without all of the harmful pharmaceutical medications and drugs, which has a heavy, uh, profound negative effect on our health. Some of us are not capable of dealing with the medication that we are prescribed. Now, I do like to say that I am not practicing medicine. I like to make the disclaimer that no one involved with this podcast is promoting medicine. We are not diagnosing anyone. We are just providing insight and information so that you can better have a handle on what it is that you can do for yourself and your family to enhance your health. Proper breathing, proper rest, proper nutrition, proper exercise, even having a physical examination. I would encourage each and every one of you during the course of this year so that you may find out what is going on with you from a medical standpoint. Because you are categorized in terms of a medical standpoint and not from a health and wellness position in life. So if there's something that's going on with you medically, then you have the power and the ability to make corrections with that, with so many other disciplines which are available to us right now. But you must be willing to seek them out. You must be willing to make a change in your life, especially a dietary change. You must be willing to make a change in terms of increasing the benefits of fitness in your life. If it requires that you need to trim your body down, to tighten and tone your body, to increase your cardio, then by all means do that. But do not walk through the rest of this year without doing something that can enhance your life. Because as we move further on through these cycles, your health is going to be of vital importance. I repeat this again, your health is going to be of vital importance for the rest of this cycle and for the next ensuing years that are going to come about as strange and more peculiar conditions on planet Earth continue to prevail. And so with that, Brother Zoe, I'd like to go ahead and get into speaking about the subtle effects of 2022.
Yes, sir.
And
Go ahead, brother.
okay, and so in the science of numerology, in the particular science of numerology, which I will present here and now, I employ the 9 numbers of the counting system plus the cipher or the zero, plus the 26 letters of the English alphabet, which probably most of us who are listening to this podcast speak. Now, the 9 numbers of numerology plus the 26 letters is often misrepresented as being the Pythagorean system of numerology. Pythagoras is not the father of numerology. Okay, I want to make that perfectly clear so that there can be understanding as to the knowledge thereof about numerology. Uh, Pythagoras, as his name is sometimes pronounced, was a person or a personage who entered into the mystery schools in Kemet, better known as Tom Mary, and studied for approximately 22 years. It is stated that he became a master, but masters of the mystery schools were required to stay a period of 40 years of study. So Pythagoras did learn a great deal. I'm not detracting from the knowledge that Pythagoras has because I have studied some of his work through the Greek historians. And much of what Pythagoras has learned can be authenticated and verified by a book written by a brother by the name of George G.M. James. And the name of that book is Stolen Legacy. I'll repeat that again. If you wish to find verification about who Pythagoras was, read the book Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. And read the book very carefully because George G.M. James makes a lot of very, very, very important points, okay, that will lead you into deeper and further study as to who Pythagoras was, and then also in terms of the history that predated the history of Pythagoras himself. Now, with all of that being said, the 9 numbers of numerology, and I will refer to this system of numerology as the rule of 9, okay, not the Pythagorean system of numerology. I may slip and say Pythagorean system of numerology, but really we are here gathered to know about the 9 count system of numerology. And for those who are very familiar with numerology and maybe astrologists or numerologists themselves, of course, there are other systems of numerology which can be employed. But at this time, to keep clarity, okay, we are talking about the 9 count system of numerology. Okay, so let's get that out the way and let's be very, very clear so that there will be no misunderstanding or any misrepresentations when we open this up for discussion. Now, every letter in our alphabet has a corresponding number vibration, okay, from 1 to 9. And each letter has a particular number of vibration from 1 to 9 that registers within a particular name or a word, okay? And so this is how we establish the science of numerology in what we call divining of the names or divining of the numbers, okay? For example, if you look at the letters A, J, and S, they vibrate to the number 1, okay? And then the next letter would be the letter B, which has a vibration of the number 2. And then the number 3 has the vibrations for the letter C, L, and U. And the letter D, D, M, V, so on and so on and so on. Okay, all you have to do is to set up a row and columns and just plug in the alphabet from A to I. Then we start from J, and then we continue on, and that's how we determine the number letter grid of the number letter association. And so with that, you now will have an idea of what I am speaking as we continue to move through in this conversation. Now, what we really want to talk about, though, is 2022. Now, in numerology, in the simple system of numerology, because there are advanced systems of numerology, but in the simple system of numerology, we see that the year in question, based on the Gregorian calendar, okay, based on the Gregorian calendar, we see that the year is 2022 or through 2022. And we simply take 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2. That equals the number 6. So the number 6 is established as the vibration which rules the entire calendar year of 2022. Okay? Now, the number 6, as I have said before, it is dealing with our health, but it is also dealing with our money. And so what is happening right now is that each and every one of us are needing more money. Why? Because the number 6 is one of the money numbers. There are 3 money numbers in numerology. Some may say 4, and I can attest to that maybe, but I will stick with the ones that I know to be the money numbers. And those are the numbers 5, 6, and 8. And so since 6 is a money number, then we are in a money number cycle. We are in a money number year. So there is a whole lot of activity surrounding money, the importance of money, the importance of the cryptocurrency, the importance of the digital currency. All of this comes into play because of the cycle of the number 6 vibration. Now, for all of us, we need to look at a whole different way of creating and making money during this cycle. I'll say that again. All of us, because all of us are being influenced by this number 6 vibration. We need to look at a whole new different way in terms of creating wealth and money right now during this cycle year of 2022. Because if we don't, okay, we're going to feel like we're being left out and left behind all over again. And that will play a heavy psychological and emotional weight on us. Because the number 6, as well as being a money number, is an emotional number. So there's a whole lot of energy that is tied into money coupled with emotions. So if you are experiencing not having enough money, then it becomes an emotional and psychological challenge for you during this cycle. So do everything that you can to maintain and to keep the flow of money, okay, in your family, even if you have to manage it and budget more than you have in the past. Okay? So these are some of the subtle effects that are affecting us during this number 6 cycle year. The subtle effect is on our emotions. The subtle effect is on our psychology. It's not that you may be thinking that you're doing something wrong or incomplete or not enough. It's just the fact that we are in a cycle, okay, that involves so many subtleties. And you ask, okay, where are these subtleties coming from? The subtleties are coming from the digits which are found within the construct of the year number, which is 2, 0, 2, and 2. The number 2, okay, is a very, very, very subtle number. It has a very subtle effect on our consciousness, and especially since we are in an emotional year, it has a very subtle effect on our emotions. Now, those of you who are aware of this is fine. You understand you can move through this cycle with ease and harmony. But those who are unaware of the subtle effects that this year is having on us, you can be stressing or probably are stressing about matters pertaining to family, pertaining to money, pertaining to job, to pertaining to paying bills, to pertaining to making some sort of living. Already, people have experienced the effects of the rising costs in food, the rising costs for people who rent for housing accommodations, the rising costs for it is to with gasoline. Okay, I mean, if you gas up one week and you come back the next week, you can tell that there's a difference. All of this has a subtle effect upon you. It's like uh, it's like a it's like a very subtle attack that's being made on you, and but you may not be paying attention to it until there's an aftermath type of effect. So please be in tune with everything which is going on with you. Now, I know many of you have families, many of you have the need to take care of children, and please do. Okay. Allow no one to not be taken care of. Make sure that everyone uh, under the auspices of your family is being looked at and cared for, from the elders all the way down to the babies. But there is an effect. And so what happens is that there needs to be a joining together of minds, of people, so that we can walk through this thing together. If you think that you are, as an individual, can walk through 2022 alone, by yourself, and without the need of other people, I would say that you are psychologically fooling yourself. Okay, because there are going to be some certain types of situations and conditions that will prove that you will need guidance, assistance, and help from other people. Okay, so please, each of us, put away, place the idea of that selfishness, uh, place it somewhere where it doesn't enter into your life. But the number six, six also is a vibration which deals with family. If there are some subtle going ons within the family, take the time to deal with them. Okay, do not overlook them, do not brush them under the rug. The subtle effects can become major effects uh, in our lives, in our families, with our families, if we do not address them as needed. The other thing about the number two, about the twos, because there's three twos, so that means that the subtle effects within the cycle of the number six is it has a lot to do with lunar effects, the moon energy. So we want to watch where our emotions and how our emotions are playing out during the full moon, and the full moon and the new moon cycles during this entire year of 2022. The number two is also a number which deals with the feminine energy on this planet. The number six also deals with the energy of the feminine energy on this planet. So how the number twos, all those twos, and the number six affects each and every one of us, especially women during this cycle, is tantamount, because the number two is a number of feeling. And so it's important for you, and especially for our women, to be able to feel their way through this cycle. With the number two, and with so many twos, there can be those of us who are sensitive, who are drawn to many, 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 many powerful feelings. And these powerful feelings need to be looked at, addressed, weighed, and considered quite heavily during this cycle, and not to be overlooked. How one feels can determine how one is going to be successful now and even in the future. The other thing, too, is that with the subtle effects of the number two, there can be periods for each of us during this cycle where we are so affected by the subtle forces, we sometimes don't know what to do. So we begin to vacillate. We become indecisive. Okay. Some paranoia may set in. These are all subtle factors that, I'm sharing with you to watch within yourself, and then also for the sake of other family members or persons that you care for and have some sort of relationship with. Now, in terms of relationships, the number 2 plays a very subtle effect. Well, I shouldn't say just the number 2. The many twos plays a very strong, subtle effect in terms of relationships. The number 2, from a negative perspective, can be a number of division or splitting or separations or even divorce. So there can be many families due to economics, due to misunderstanding, due to not being in touch or in harmony with each other's emotions, that can be the cause of a great rift or split or schism or disruption within the fabric of the family during this cycle. So all these subtle effects are necessary for us to know, that so that we can successfully move through this time period. Now, the other thing too is that the subtle effects of time. Some of you may experience, it was Monday, how did I get to Wednesday? Did I miss a day? Is there something that's going on with me? Or you may wake up and you have to ask yourself, what day of the week is it? These are all subtle effects which are happening. Now, I want to take it a little deeper. For those who may think that Brother Lovell, as a numerologist, is reaching a little bit, I assure you that I'm not. 40 years of study has proven to me that the science of numerology is real. And so what I'm about to say will stretch the minds and even the emotions of a few people. I will say this, that during the course of this cycle, many of you are going to experience more of what is commonly known as paranormal type of activity, paranormal type of experiences. You may look up and see something, and then it's not there anymore. Was it your imagination? Are you under so much stress that you're seeing a mirage or something that really wasn't there? This is due to the fact that there's a very strong psychic force that is permeating among us. There's a very strong intuitive force that is permeating among us. So those things that you may not have been privy to take notice of before, now you are experiencing them. And what you're experiencing is just as real as me sitting here talking among you. So do not overlook the fact that there is some paranormal activity that's going on planet Earth. There will be more paranormal activity to continue on with planet Earth. Some of it is real. Some of it is technologically made and produced. We know for a fact that there is planned a major effect to appear, and that certain people will see certain things in the heavens that will look real. Okay? And those of us who know this will be able to differentiate what is real and what is not real. And that's another factor pertaining to this number 6 cycle. We are going to have to know what is and what is not, okay, within ourselves. But the raising of our consciousness is necessary during this cycle, especially the raising of our sixth sense, our mother wit, our mother power, our psychic sense, our psychic abilities. Now, our psychic abilities can also be used to enhance our health. Okay. So if you can sit down for several minutes, few times a day, each and every day, do so. This will only enhance your powers, your psychic abilities. Tune in, harmonize, listening to music that makes you feel good. These are all benefits which can enhance, enliven us, keep us healthy, keep us fit, keep us strong during this cycle. Because this is a very, very, very stressful period that we're in. The stress can affect you in ways which can shut you down. It can shut down the vital organs in your body. It can cause blockages in your body. It can cause you to be constipated. Constipation will be a big factor. You may think that you're coming down with some sort of illness, and you may be dehydrated and constipated, and that's what the problem is. And for many of you, that's what it is: constipation and dehydration. You're not drinking enough water, and you're not eliminating enough. So please, if you're only going so many times a week, you need to make sure that you're going every day. I know for some people, this may be outlandish. This is something that people have not even considered before, but there has always been a lack of guidance in terms of elimination from the time that we were children. There was always restrictions. You're restricted to eliminate properly at school, at your jobs, at everything. Okay, but you need to eliminate. You need to let go that which needs to be released, not only from your body but also from your psyche. And with our psychic, we're under also the influence of a great deal of propaganda and psychological warfare. The number 6 is a vibration which tells us that all of us need to be protected. We need to be protected physically. We need to be protected emotionally, of course, physically. We need to create a force field around ourselves through our aura, through our 6th and 7th chakra, particularly the pituitary gland, the pineal gland. We need to strengthen those areas because they will set up a force field around us that nothing evil, nothing out of the ordinary would ever try to make any kind of attack upon your person. But if your energy field is weak, if your force field around you is weak, then you are subject to attacks. As simple as that. It's important to know that the number 6 vibration is a number of protection, but it also can be a number of war. Okay, when you need to go into action, when you need to go into battle, when you need to protect yourself, your loved ones, your assets, your home, everything that you have ever worked for, this is the time to do it. But you cannot do it if your health is in poor condition. So that's why I'm going back now from where I started. It's very important for each and every one of us. I emphasize this because I have seen and heard, and so many people have called me about themselves and loved ones going under a health crisis. Okay, now some of us are strong enough to make a comeback from that health crisis. Some of us have not been able to do that, and they have had to pass on to the next world. Okay, so it's important that each and every one of you enhance your health, not just maintain your health, but this is a critical time to enhance your health. The vibrations are for you to enhance your health. You will not find a better cycle than the number 6 than now to enhance your health. Please, okay, take the opportunity that's available to you now to enhance your health. Look at your diet. Look at what is food and look at what is not food. Everything that is being sold as food, many of you know by now, is not food. You can eat something and you can become terribly ill in a few minutes or an hour or so after eating because it's not food. Okay. Monsanto, I remember listening one time to the president of Monsanto saying that genetically modified food in the future will be the only food that is available for food. So, what are you going to do if that continues to be the case? And on a subtle level, that is what's happening. There is no food shortage, but there will be a food scarcity. I'll repeat this again. There is no food shortage. There's abundance of food on planet Earth. I had a relative that just returned from South Africa, and they told me that there was so much food growing in South Africa, it was amazing. So why are we here in North America, namely in the United States, concerned about the rising cost of food because we're being told food shortages? There is no food shortages. That's an illusion. That's propaganda. That's part of the system of warfare. These are all subtle effects which play on your mind, that plays on your thoughts, that plays on your feelings. Am I going to have enough food for my children or my child or my loved ones or my mother or my father or my grandparents? These are all psychological warfare. Okay? And this all has to do with the negative aspects of the number 6 vibration. Okay? So, Brother Zoe, if people have questions before I continue on, I'd like to open it up for some questions or else for the time being.
Yeah, I actually have some questions if
Okay.
that's okay. Okay. So, dealing recently, they had the blood moon that happened, what is it, a couple days ago, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And then a couple days ago they had a mass shooting, right?
Right.
All right. Knowing that we know that they know the importance of this and how it connects with energy, would it be out of the question for something like that to be like a ritual to, to control that energy
Oh yeah.
that's happening? Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's I'm glad you asked that question. That's definite yes to this because see what's important to know is that certain things are done on certain dates, and these certain dates have a particular vibration. And whenever you can take the mass consciousness of a people, these folks through technology have been able to encapsulate thought. Thought is a vibration. Thought is an energy. Thought creates an energy field. If you can get 10 million people to think on one thing at one time or to concentrate their attention on one thing at one time, you can encapsulate that energy and you can use it immediately or you can encapsulate it and use it for a later time for or against the people. And that's what's been going on for quite a while now. And especially through 5G. But I like to say here, we can deal with 5G, 6G, 7G. My concern is when they crank this thing up to 18G. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's when we're gonna see some craziness out here.
All right, I got another question. I guess this is kind of since I got you here, dealing kind of more so with current events or real things that are happening now. Um, I saw this thing that the World Health Organization is trying to take away the sovereignty of the people, all the nations, and pretty much
Right,
say that we're going to run everything.
right.
Um, I know you, I know you be knowing some stuff when it comes to stuff like this. Is it possible you could kind of possibly elaborate on that? Maybe like with the effects that what the
With the
plan.
World Health Organization?
Yeah. What's wrong with that right now with them trying to just take
Well,
everything over?
okay. Well, there's different disciplines and different angles of approach that's being used
Uh,
right now to reduce and to disarm uh, people effectively. And when I say disarm people, I don't mean just by taking away their personal protection of what most people will have for home protection, but uh, looking into education and how education really is not uh, teaching our youth anymore, and that's why they're mad and angry and they're showing out. That's why it's so important if you can homeschool your children or having them in a certain kind of private school, or if they're in public school to maintain some sort of contact with those who are teaching them. But uh, through many and various organizations, one organization being what is known as the Tavistock Institute. Now, most people don't realize that every time that you buy a Coca-Cola product, you are supporting the Tavistock Institute. And if you were to do a search right now and look up the Tavistock Institute and see what they are involved in, they are into mass manipulation of human consciousness, uh, uh, health, medicine, psychology, everything that goes into maintaining our, 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 our destiny on this planet is being circumvented, annihilated, and even to a greater degree, even eliminated for a cause. And Tavistock Institute is only one particular organization. You know, a long time ago, for those of us who have been around long enough, we know that General President Dwight David Eisenhower talked about the the military-industrial complex. Okay, and a lot of people still don't understand what he really meant by that. That there actually was being a takeover, and this takeover was being handled uh, right in the midst of us, right in our face, and we are paying taxes for it each and every day. Each and everything that happens against us, we are literally paying for it through our own sweat and blood, and that's because of ignorance. Now, ignorance of the law is no defense. If you're ignorant as to what's going on out here, if you choose not to be awakened to the fact that there are situations which are happening on a subtle level as well out here, uh, we need to learn to become more woke, as the young folks say. So I say this, Brother Zoe, that we need to come into a critical understanding. We need to use critical knowledge, a critical examination, a critical self-examination of ourselves, and see how we are contributing to something which is really working against us and not at all for us. And so that's why I bring up the point of we need to be more conscious about what we buy, what we purchase, because those items which we are purchasing, they're not for us. Actually, they put us in the poor health. Okay, a lot of what we eat is putting us in the poor health. A lot of what we consume is placing us into poor health. We are jeopardizing ourselves. Okay.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of addiction that's going on out here right now. We live in a addictive society. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because there are addictions that I have gone through, and I didn't know that I was dealing with addictions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people have addictions to food.
Mm-hmm.
People have addictions to fast food. They can't stop eating it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why. There's certain soft drinks that people are addicted to.
Yeah.
There's the addiction of I got to have this in the morning so I can get my day started. That's an addiction. There's all kind of addiction.
Yeah.
We live in an addictive society,
Mm-hmm.
and so we have to get a hold on these addictions. And when you look at the corporations, and then when you look at the private concerns that are behind these corporations and the think tanks which are behind these corporations and how they plot and plan each and everything that we do in our sleep as well as our waking state, then we can better get a grasp on what is really happening to us. But you know, for some people, there is a sense of hopelessness. Well, what do you expect me to do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first thing that any of us can do is to look at ourselves, look within ourselves, and start with ourselves first, then move on and start with our families. That's what's really, because family represents the nucleus.
Yeah.
Any breakdown of family, especially during this cycle of the number 6, because number 6 rules family, can be very catastrophic. It can be very catastrophic for not just one person, but the whole family at large. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like this: when we lose a family member, everybody's affected. It's just not that one family member is gone. Everybody has and goes through a sense of loss. Okay, but we have to learn how to make ourselves whole and healed again. Healing is very important. This is a healing cycle.
Yeah.
And so the opportunity to heal ourselves is present. Seek out the healers. Seek out the reputable healers that can effectively help you during this time. Okay, but let's
I
watch
know
out.
it's interesting. It's interesting you even say that because I noticed myself, like throughout all these years, it's like every time you turn around, there's like you said, a reputable Reiki master that has years experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a reputable, it's like everywhere you look around now, literally, if you're looking in the right place, that is, you know what I'm saying? You got people that are just popping up out of nowhere here to help you. You know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing because that's needed so much right now. I'm gonna stay on this kind of I'm gonna stay on this kind of current event theme, if you don't mind, man, because I think it's important and relevant. That people hear this and we talk about it. It's like I got some. So you got these people that have been ruling this globe for so long, and they understand that their time was up technically, and they're trying to hold on to things. And we had assistance through extraterrestrials in the past and other beings to system technologically, to get to a certain level.
Right.
But and we do know there's always a balance in everything. So do we have assistance for for the people, for the righteous, for the ones that are trying, the people that are living in Zion instead of the Matrix? Do we have this equal type of assistance on the other side of the atom, the other angels? Do we have this type of assistance that's aiding us in this day and time?
Yes, we do. However, there are certain things that we are going to have to do ourselves. to receive the assistance and the guidance from those of us who can provide greater, can be who are great benefactors to us. If we have for 40 years been told that we need to be in control of our food, and we have not put into place farms, cooperatives, so on and so on, in place to be in control of our food, I can tell you right here and now, do not expect too much to happen with assistance from those that can help us when we have not done the basics of what we have been instructed to.
Gotcha.
You know, it's like this. I get a lot of people that ask me, well, Brother Lovell, I want the deep numerology. Okay. Well, brother, sister, you know, read this book, read this, do this, study that. Let's get back in a month. We get back in a month. I hadn't done anything. But they still want the deep numerology.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a responsibility that all of us have.
Yeah.
And that's number 6 too.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's no escaping responsibility on planet Earth for none of us. All of us, from the babies on up, we have to have some level of responsibility. And for some of us, the responsibility is even greater. I will say this. If you have the number 6 in your birthday, the month, day, or year that you were born, if you have the letters F, O, and X in your name, then that tells me to tell you that there's a certain level of responsibility that you have that you need to live up to. And if you're not living up to it, you really can't expect anything, any real help until you have met the criteria for that responsibility. It's just like it's just like trying to buy a home. You have to show some proven type of track record through your credit that you are capable of buying and paying for. It's the same thing. It's the same principle. And we're held to that. You can't escape responsibility on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why we're here. Right? That's one of the reasons why you're here, right?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're here.
Yeah. So how about, okay, the collective consciousness of humans, right? And, you know, they say, you know, in biblical times, Book of Revelations, they say it's 144,000, you know, that will be taken up, you know, to teach, whatever the case may be. And, well, you got what, 7 billion people on this planet or whatever the case may be. Is it too far-fetched to think that it would only take a small amount, a number like that for this shift to shift over? You know? Is it, you know what I mean? Is it going to take the whole? Because it seems like to me a lot of these people are lost, you know, and they like being lost, you know.
Well, throughout history, it's never been the majority of us that caused the conscious move. It's always been a very tight-knitted group of people, men and women, working together to create a magnanimous change on this planet. And it appears that that's going to be the same case right now. Okay. I have an old saying, it's better to work with 3 people and get a whole lot done as opposed to working with 300 people and getting nothing done. Okay. And I've been a part of working in small groups of people, with small groups of people, and getting a great deal done. It may take a little longer, but a whole lot is accomplished. Okay. So that's why I say it's important to really, if you can, to start with your families.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Start with your families. So in terms of the collective consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that requires so much work. That
Yeah.
requires so much time, so much
Mm-hmm.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much. There's so many differences. Uh, there's so many. There's so many tribes out there. There's so many nations out there
Mm-hmm.
that can be brought together. But are they capable of setting their differences to the side and allowing themselves to come together? That still remains to be experienced and seen. And I feel like it's going to take a little bit longer. But for those of us who are aspiringly, are mightily to come into uh, this higher awakening and to do some great things, I implore you to continue to do what you're doing, because the work that is needed right now, you can't really expect a whole lot of accolades. If you're a person who's looking for a whole lot of accolades, then you're a person that I'm watching. Okay, as simple as that.
Yeah. Plus, as soon as you do all that hard work, um, and get your accolades, somebody whispers in your ear, you got to go on stage and slap somebody to get your reward after
Right, right. Yeah, to get your award afterwards. Okay,
and then get it taken away.
man, take it away, man. We
Yeah.
know what that's all about.
Yeah. It's a trip to me, man, because now the more and more I see the effort that is being put in maintaining the illusion, maintaining the matrix. The more I see how much effort it is, the more I see that powerless less they are really are. They're
Right,
using all of this, they use all the science, astrology, numerology, they use everything. They've been doing it for the longest time, but now it just seems like to me with the age, this age we're in, it's like all that doesn't matter because the veil, it's being lifted. You know what I mean? And the human consciousness level is elevating to the point that that stuff's
right.
it's not gonna work like it did anymore. You're like, and there's another thing, brother. I know you might want to add on
No,
this, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. These young brothers and sisters that are coming up that get it, it's like
right,
when I was, when I was your age, when I was in my 20s, whatever, I thought I was conscious and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Reading all that stuff. We had them back, great master teachers back in the 90s. These jokers coming out
right.
the womb like bam, bam, bam. So don't you think that? Well, I should say is with these new star seeds, these indigo children, is that a source of help in itself?
Oh yeah, that's definitely a help. The energy that they are providing, that they're having, that they've come through the womb to, is it's of great concern to those that oppose us.
Mm. Yeah, I can
And they're
imagine.
yeah, and they're trying to do everything to dampen it.
Yeah.
Uh, to dampen it, and then to even cause just a slight misrepresentation of what is. But many of our young folks, they're pretty sharp, and they
Yeah,
can
man.
read. They can read you. They can tell if you're sincere, if you're not.
Exactly.
Yeah. They
You
they
know,
they know. They know. They know, and they will
I know
call
that.
you on it too.
What you say?
I said, and they will call you on it too.
Oh
They
yeah.
had no problem. They had no problems with that.
No, it's like it's like the only thing that they're lacking. I mean, I guess that's all of us technically. I mean, no matter how old you are, it's just the life experience. Besides that, they got everything else.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's
yeah.
just that it's like the reps. They don't, instead of us, let's just say if we were playing golf and we swung, you know, swung the golf club, 6 million times, you know what I'm saying? They're like on 200,000, but they already know how to, they already hitting a hole in one, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, 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 yeah. All you got to do is give them just a wee bit of insight, and they'll take it to the next level,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
to a
yeah,
higher
yeah.
level than we have from the past. But I do say though, with everything that you study,
Hmm.
everything that you acquire, knowledge that you know, there is a responsibility that's associated, and you
Yeah.
cannot abdicate that responsibility with what you know.
Hmm.
And the other thing that I like to say to everyone, when you come into a certain level of knowledge, please be, and I'll use the word again, responsible with it. Because there's an old saying among the old Kabbalists of, of, of the past uh, who studied numerology coming out of our rich traditions going back into Africa, that Africa and also here in the Americas. Okay, when I say Americas, I include North America, Central America, and South America. There's rich traditions that indicated that once you became aware, you had to deal with right guidance,
Hmm.
and in this right guidance, there were certain laws that you had to adhere. And if you misused or allowed yourself to be corrupted, uh,
Hmm.
there was grave penalties.
Consequences.
You could lose your mind.
Hmm.
Okay, you could go insane behind certain knowledge and awareness.
Hmm.
Now, that brings me to this point that I like to share, because I do a lot of my own personal self study, but also make sure that I maintain the heartbeat which is going on out there. And I'm hearing a lot, you know, and I'm hearing, and then I'm also seeing the results of a lot of misrepresentation that is going on.
Hmm.
Look, you're dealing with this knowledge, you're dealing with fire. And we know that if you play with fire, you can get burned. And that's the message that I like to send out there.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't put this. If you think it's a plaything, I can tell you now, leave it alone.
Hmm.
There's a power that's
Hmm.
behind it that you don't want to play with. You may go along for a while, and you may be doing this and doing that and becoming this and becoming that, but it can shut you down in a heartbeat.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
It's
don't,
yeah, yeah. Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, just don't misrepresent what you're dealing with.
Yeah. I noticed. I've seen throughout the years, just some since I've been in this.
Hmm.
I should say I'm not going to say in the conscious community, but I should say observing the conscious community. How about that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see people burning out all the time. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, it's like the ulterior motives come arise to the forefront. And like you
Right.
said, next thing you know, you never see them again.
Right.
You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
there's a
Because
reason. There's a reason for that.
yeah.
There's a reason. It's certain power. That's why I said, from the onset, you know, we were required, starting at the age of 7, to go through a system of education for 40 years.
Hmm.
And once you came out, then you became a priest or priestess of a particular discipline or
Hmm.
multi disciplines, in which you were given certain authority and power. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Um. Mhm.
so we need to have those. Some of the institutions are still in place. They're just working underground, and it's
Underground,
probably
yeah.
best. They're probably best that they're working underground.
Exactly correct. Yeah, yeah,
Everything
yeah.
does not need to be known to the public
Mm-mm, mm.
as much
I
as
got yeah. No, no. I agree. I agree with you 100%. You know, I can only imagine how many other Dogons type tribes are doing their thing out there, and people might not even know about them. You know what I mean? Or
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
And this is, this is like, since I got you here, I might as well, we can roll with it, right? Um, okay. The Hermetic texts say that the ancient Egyptians knew that the time was coming, kind of like, 2012, they knew it was an end of an era. They knew that their time was coming to an end, right? And, everything was happening now, so to speak, that was coming into effect. Now, I hear a lot of different things about why Egypt was erected. You know, I'm gonna ask you this question. What are your thoughts on the fact that they had to make a library because they knew that all the knowledge would be lost because if we'd go into, this fall under the spell, asleep, so to speak. But what are your thoughts on that? Like Egypt being like the record house for the information before everybody went to sleep.
Well, based on what I know and I've studied, you
Hmm.
know, that area of the world was the center of the earth in terms of the land mass.
Hmm.
Okay, and so it was the
Hmm.
central point. Then we also got to remember that the measurement or the reckoning of time was also there, but it was moved out of there to Greenwich, England. Okay, so all the
Hmm.
measurements and all the calculations was centered and housed there, and so we knew the potential of everything which was to happen, which can occur on planet Earth, right
Hmm.
where we set up our educational center, our educational empire, which we, of course, known as the mystery school system.
Hmm.
So that's why I say that it was important. Now, according to what Brother George G.M. James, who I talked about earlier, said,
Hmm.
much of it was moved elsewhere to what we call subordinate schools. If you're in the
Mm.
Masonic order, it would have been subordinate lodges throughout the
Okay.
world. But
Hmm.
we definitely maintain some sort of control over the dissemination of the knowledge. Okay, now we were very careful to disseminate a certain level and a certain amount of knowledge. We did not disseminate all the knowledge. Some we
Hmm.
kept for ourselves. And that takes us back to the earlier conversation that you brought up about these
Hmm.
children that are
Hmm.
coming up. A lot of that knowledge spiritually is hidden with them. If they
Mm.
know it or not, what we have to establish in them is a right conduct, okay,
Hmm.
in terms of dealing with
Hmm.
this high knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, that has to be established.
Hmm.
It is up to us, and it's
Yeah.
only up to us. We cannot expect anybody else other than us to set the precedence for this right conduct.
Hmm. That's our
Then,
mission.
right, then we can receive the full and undivided attention of the shining ones.
Gotcha.
Okay,
I'm with you.
but
They
we're
they
not
they like it's like we gotta at least meet them halfway, right?
exactly, exactly,
At
exactly.
least meet them halfway. Cause y'all, if y'all sit down there, worrying about who gonna win the Super Bowl next, whatever the case may be, instead of all this information that we have out here now to elevate ourselves as individuals, then it's almost like a lost cause. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Why help? Yeah, why help? Why help these people that don't want it?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some right conduct has to be established, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
can
It's a
be,
trip. Mm,
yeah, that will require some discipline by us all
exactly.
for the giver and the receiver. There's gonna need to be some discipline.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People talk about like from what I've been around and seen, in the mainstream, like we were saying, I've only seen a handful of individuals that have attempted and been successful with matching the old customs in modern day, you know, and trying to use our ancient ways in the modern day to set these precedences, to set not precedences, to set these I like to call them rites of passage or culture, or cultural ways. Because it just like you said earlier, there's different tribes all over the place. You got all these people scattered all over. You got the Hebrews here, and all these people here,
Right.
and and inside of all these people, what I've noticed, you always still have a small matter, really sincere people that really get it.
Right.
I don't care about what you believe. You could be a Moor, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But you could be a nation of Islam. You could be a Christian, a Jew. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's like a small percentage of even those people actually get it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, it's you know, I don't know. That's something I think about a lot. Going back to that 144,000. You know what I mean? Just that small percentage of it that get it. But brother, I mean, I see that number growing, man, every day. Especially when I see these young kids, man. I see
Oh
these
yeah.
brothers and
Yeah.
sisters.
It's growing.
It's growing,
Growing.
man, and it's
Growing.
like their 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 ratio. You're like these. I'll just say this. I feel very optimistic about the future because this younger generation. I know at the same time a lot of them still, you know, drinking the Matrix juice, but I'm very optimistic about I'm very optimistic about the way the reinforcement. How about that? The soldiers, the reinforcements that we're having.
Yeah. The
You know what I'm
reinforcement. Right.
saying?
Yeah. We need them. We need them. Yeah.
Man,
Because they come serious. They come into the situation very serious. Well, they come into a world that is in serious need.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting you saying it earlier, man, because you know, once you once you really see how what this world is and you know what the people are trying to do to it for pretty much selfish reasons, it's like literally something most insane. It's almost unimaginable that a mindset of individuals would want to do something and instead let Mother Nature be.
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember seeing this whole Star Trek episode. You might have seen it when they had this they had this guy and he had all these magical powers, right? And he was
Right.
making Captain Kirk and these people do all this kind of crazy stuff. He just would snap his finger, and when he snapped his finger, anything he pretty much wished happened, right?
Right.
Come to find out the whole time his parents came along and snatched him up. He was a baby. His mind, he was had this power, but he was a baby. That's what it seems like this world, the people that rule this world in. You know, they're spiritually what's the
Right.
word? In, infantile. They're infants. They don't have the maturity
Right. The
of the
infants.
the source. Yeah, and infants, yeah, spiritual, mental infants. And I wonder is a lot of times I wonder if it's just the fact that they really don't have a soul connected with source, so they can't even think that way. You know what I mean? Literally. You know what I mean? And then
Hey,
just people overall. Not just them, just people. A lot of people. Just overall.
right,
You know, to do the
right.
things they do. I'm talking all. I ain't talking about one race because one of the things I'm telling you, brother. One of the things I realize more and more every day that number one, they say the first devil was black, right? The
Right,
first devil was black, yeah.
right.
so
Oh
so
yeah,
that says a lot right there. Anything after that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at this, I'm like, yo, I can't even look at race anymore. I just got like, what did Martin Luther King said? He said something like, don't look at people's character. No, he said judge people by their character. You know what I'm saying?
the
As opposed
content
to
of
what
the
they do.
character.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at everybody sideways now. If you just, I'm looking at everybody's side. I don't care what color you. I don't care what orientation. Nothing. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? You got wolves in sheep clothes. You got shapeshifters. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying?
you got it all down here on planet Earth, man.
That's it, man. This is a circus, man. But that's a
Yes,
reality. That's a reality. Like that's the way I think that I have to survive dealing with all this because you just got to see who's on your team or not.
mm-hmm,
Who's on
mm-hmm.
your tribe? You know what I'm saying? Like
That's what's
literally.
right. Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, yo, this is as always, brother, this is amazing. I'm very happy that you specifically led with the subtle effects because what you said described things I thought, but you made it more realistic and tangible, and it made more sense scientifically, you know, of why this is going down like it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm saying, but
Right. Right.
yeah, but
Right.
yeah. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
sure how many
Yeah.
folks. Go ahead.
Because when you're dealing with the numbers, of course, we're dealing with the vibrations, and you know, each and every number has to be looked at and considered, and not just the end result of the year, which is six. And those twos. Um, it's like the old adage, the old saying of there's two sides to everything, and that's true. But a lot of times with the number two vibration, we only see one side. We see the side that we may want to see, or the side that we can visibly see, and we don't see what's on the other half. It's just like the saying that we never see the other side of the moon, so we never know what's going on with the other side of the moon. And that's symbolically speaking, but that's also a reality as well. We only see and know. I tell people all the time this, because I know a lot of people are interested in knowing about secret society and masonry and so forth and so on. But I tell them, I said, look, all those organizations are not secret societies because you know about them. I
Yeah.
said the real secret societies, you don't know about them, you don't know who's in them, you never heard of them, there's no name attached to them or anything. Okay. The number two, for the audience that's listening, the number two, metaphysically speaking, represents the power that is behind the throne. Now, if one
Mm.
can get with that and understand that, okay, you can better understand as to what is happening and what is manifesting during this cycle year. Okay, there's a whole lot of activity that is going on behind the scenes, and that's really what you need to tune into. See, there are always lessons with the vibrations as we deal with them. And in dealing with them, we are able to acquire insight and knowledge. And without insight and knowledge during this age in which we are in, which is the age of Aquarius, we need to have the insight so that we can know. This is not a time of belief anymore. This is not, Reverend telling us, I believe, no. You got to be in the know now. So whatever tools, whatever availabilities there are, whatever enhanced abilities that you have, it's time for you to use them and to use them properly with good conduct. Because I'm hearing and seeing people who have great and marvelous enhanced abilities, but it has nothing to do with spirituality at all. It has nothing to do with spirituality. You can be a psychic. Just because you're a psychic doesn't make you spiritual.
Yeah, real tough.
Okay? And so I'm seeing a lot of people using poor conduct with the use of certain powers that they have. Okay? And so there's a lot of muck raking that's going on, and there's a lot of mini wars which are going on out here, man.
Unnecessary.
You can pick it up in your consciousness. You can pick it up in your sleep.
Yep, I agree.
Sometimes I wake up and I feel like I've been through a war. I was like, wow, what was that?
Or sometimes you just look at what's in front of you.
These are all things that we need to.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's real. Look what's in front of us.
Yeah.
So keep all of this in mind.
Yeah.
But there's a very strong undercurrent, subtle effect that is happening. I think too many people are expecting something very big to happen. Okay. All along, people are being decimated.
Yeah.
Then you look up, wow, 700 million people left the planet.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I remember I was here in Atlanta when the 1996 Olympics came here. And prior to the Olympics, homelessness in Atlanta was sky high. I mean, it was really, really bad. And we began to notice that where did all these homeless people go? What happened to them all?
Yeah.
When the Olympics came, you didn't see no homeless folks anywhere. Okay. It's just like what Dick Gregory said when Katrina hit. So many thousands of our folks came up missing. What happened to them down there in Louisiana? So these are the things that we need to give attention to and not marvel at what something might happen but doesn't happen. But all along, there are other subtle forces which are taking place. Because you're looking over here, you're being distracted. Something's going on right in front of you.
Right in front of you. Yeah.
And you have no ideas of what just happened.
I'm happy, and now I was waiting when I saw the title. I was like wondering, my mind, which direction you were going with it, but as always, you're on point with it because people don't take an account of the subtle aspects of it's like what they say, like that analogy, like when the frog is in the water and they turn it up the heat, next thing you know it's cooked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? I mean, that's subtle. You know what I'm saying? That subtle increase of heat. You know what I'm saying? But that's like, I see that completely now. went on on all levels, man. You know, like you
Yeah,
said, the food earlier,
yeah,
you know, the addictions, you know, all this stuff
right.
is just all it's all and it's all small increments of just
Yeah.
self-destruction.
That's it. Yeah. Subtle effects. And it's another thing that I want to add too, and this ties into
Mhm,
the subtle effects and also our health,
mhm,
which is the important piece for 2022, is the long-term after effects of COVID. If you have been exposed to COVID and you may not have had it, there's things that you need to do in terms of protecting your health,
mhm.
which means that you need to enhance it.
Yeah.
You need to
Mhm,
enhance your immune system. You need to make your immune system stronger,
mhm,
okay? So
mhm.
that you can fight off the virulent attacks which are taking place.
Yeah.
These folks are very serious. They calculate very well
I
what it
mean,
is that they're going to
they
do.
the best of the worst, right?
Yeah.
Best of the worst, hands down,
You know,
easy.
especially, yeah, especially in a metropolitan area like Atlanta,
Mhm,
because
mhm.
Atlanta is governed and ruled by the number six. That's why you have so
Yeah.
many healthcare. That's why you have so many healthcare facilities and hospitals.
Mm,
Well, they don't call them hospitals anymore. They changed the name. They flipped the name from hospital to medical centers now, because
mm.
people caught on to the word hospital,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
place to go die.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Um,
so it's important. Really, take this to enhance your health. And when I say enhance it, I do mean enhance to strengthen yourself.
yeah,
Whatever,
yeah.
whatever, whatever weakness that you or a healthcare provider or a healer can detect, then that's what you need to work on to improve. A lot of people don't breathe
Yeah.
properly. They breathe very shallow.
Mhm,
So you got to learn how to breathe. Breathe more deeply. Take the time to breathe. You got to take the time for yourself, because you give so much energy uh, to everything else other than
mhm.
yourself and your healing and your family.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
You know, it's interesting you said that because all throughout my life I've been pretty active, right? But it's like you find yourself slipping off a little bit, right? And you feel your body, and you'd be like, well, I was always in good shape, so I'm good now. But then,
Right.
you go back in that gym, you know what I'm saying? You finally get back in the gym, and you finally start eating like you did when you were on point all the time.
Right.
You're feeling good. You're like, oh Lord, I thought I was feeling good back then. You know what I'm saying? And now you actually feeling good now, but your mind has you think, oh, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? The more healthy you get, and the more you're able to, you more you see how this body is working for you. Once you're
Right.
better, it's amazing how your mind can play them tricks on you about how you think you're healthy, and the reality is, nah. You once you get there, you look back and you like, oh my God, I know I was torn up back then. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And how much better can I get in health now? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I got to stay on this train. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, Lord, I try to trick myself out because not like like we talked about before, off camera, and you know my numbers, so but
Right.
yeah, I take a little break from going to karate. I'll be all right. I take a little break from eating like I supposed to eat. I take a little break. Next thing you know what I'm saying, you you get the wake up call and you're like, yo, you got to get on it, and you can see the difference between when you were in that illusion, that foggy mindset as opposed to the clarity now, and you see how
Right.
great you feel now. And I'm saying all that because kind of piggyback on what you're talking about, because your body is all you got to defend against all the stuff that's thrown at you. That's all you got. Your health.
Your
You know what I'm
health.
saying? That's it. I don't care how much crypto you got. I don't care. Steve Jobs said it best. You say you have all this crap. You on this deathbed about to croak. millions of dollars. He said he can't even get his health straight.
Right.
He don't got his health no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what you're saying is so key, man. Start with yourself and the health of your family, man. And
Right.
that's
key.
That's key, man. It makes just so much sense because you start there, and you're in a shining example of that. It's other people gonna catch on. You
Right.
know, they're gonna be like, all right, brother Zoe, I see him, walking around the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Or your nephews or your uncle, your nephews or your cousins, whatever. They might see you getting on point, then they might hop on point. Why are you doing it, man? Because I need to be healthy. Don't you want me to come to your graduation? Yeah, okay, that's why I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Don't you want some money for graduation?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I could be there. I give you your money when you go to college. But yeah, man. Again, as always, like I said, man. Before you leave, because I got you here. So, brother Lovell, I gotta tell you, brother. I gotta tell you something. I've been watching this. I remember this portion of it back in the 90s when I was reading information from Dr. York about when he put out that book, Let's Set the Record Straight. You remember that book? Let's Set the
Yeah,
Record
I
Straight?
remember that.
You remember that? Okay. Now I'm gonna tell it to you, bro. I did not know the full extent of the mind job they put on us about all of pretty much a lot of us Native Americans here being black.
Right.
And a
Right.
small percentage of us becoming small percentage. It did happen, but small percentage that happened on the slave trade. That's I'm
Right.
you know me, brother. I'm a studier, so the more I research that, that is one of the biggest mind jobs that in American history, if you ask me, easy. And the way that they wrote it off, say they took okay. So if the people don't know it here, and the brother can elaborate. So basically, and this is something that's coming out now. This land was inhabited for millions of years by people that look like me and the brother Lovell right now. That's why
Right.
a lot of people in your family, like, oh yeah, I got Cherokee, I got Choctaw, I got Yamasee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's
Right.
true. So because the vast majority of black people over here were already here, living in America with all the customs and yes, they had feathers, you know what I'm saying? Just like the Egyptians had feathers, all that stuff you see, the land, the tribe, all that stuff we were doing, that's the same stuff over here for literally millions of years, you know what I'm saying, for a vast majority of time. But what happened was is that a certain time frame in which all the Native Americans, they wrote it off to, if you look black, you were Negro and you were no longer a Native American Indian.
Right.
You know,
Right. Exactly.
that's
Yeah, I mean, they have artifacts.
mm,
I mean, they have artifact in the Grand Canyon, man, that shows
mm-hmm.
shows us in the Grand Canyon of all
Mm-hmm.
places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and throughout America.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
Americas, as I like to say.
Americas, yeah, because it's the same thing as far as going to South America,
Right.
it's Central America, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, and we talked about it, I've seen some of these places, and I'm just like, and I look on the wall, some of these writing, I'm just like, how long these people been here? You know what I'm saying? Because they look just like me. I mean, now granted, I can't be. Some of the people had woolly hair, dark skin, and some of them had straight hair. You know what I'm saying? It was it
Right.
was a mixture, but we know that we know that there was a difference between the woolly haired ones and the straight haired ones
Yeah,
because of
straight hair.
you know
Exactly.
yeah
Exactly.
there was a difference, and ultimately they came from their mothers and fathers, the Olmecs, and and
Right.
yeah, you gave me a nice read on that.
Right.
Thank you for that as well. But yeah, so the reason why I bring that up because it seems like, brother, like the jig is up. People are really starting to. This is a hot topic right now. I don't know if you know that, Ahmad.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a very hot, it's very
yeah,
red, it's red hot topic.
yeah,
Uh, with that respect, and there's a lot of information that's surfacing. I mean, there's information that's surfacing that I'm like, wow, I'm excited about it.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm
Me
very
too.
excited about it.
Yeah, it needs to be. It needs to be. It needs to be talked about. You know,
Yeah,
it needs to be talked about. It really does. But I'm excited about it. But I just had to. That's kind of like one of the things because it's making me now want to go back because me specifically. On my grandma's side, that's all I used to hear all the time. Oh yeah, she's Cherokee. She's Cherokee. She's Cherokee. You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
And now I'm like,
Absolutely.
dang, you just think about it, and you just be like, okay, whatever, But now, obviously, there's some validity to it, you know, So I'm going back digging deep, what I'm
Yeah,
saying, digging
yeah.
deep.
Dig
But
deep, man. Dig
but
deep in all our families, man. Find
yeah,
out.
you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
yeah.
But
Well, yeah,
that's
man. Uh,
I said that's very real, man. It's very
yeah,
real.
yeah. I'm gonna
Finding
be,
all of that, getting records and all of that.
yeah. But I'm trying to think. What is there anything you want to end out on? You know what I'm saying?
Um, Man, I'm just gonna emphasize again. Please, folks, stay on top of your health.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stay on top of it. The
Hmm.
health of your loved ones, your health, family health, everything, and try to deal with as much harmony among each other as possible. This will take us much further. Uh, Deal with conflict resolution if there is conflict among family and friends. Even if there has been uh, family squabbles, personal squabbles,
Hmm.
this is a good time this is a good year to rekindle hurt wounds that have negatively impacted uh, us. This is a good time to take take the time to do that. So that's what I would like to leave out. Try to create as much harmony in life as you possibly can right now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, and I feel that energy too, and thankfully there's good folks like you and a whole bunch of other individuals that out there that were ordained and gifted, what I'm saying, by our ancestors and by the universe that have these healing properties to assist us in all of past trauma and all these different things, and that are here for us. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. I used to think we were just alone, but one thing I got to say, brother, is that a lot of, and I know you know a lot of these brothers sisters, but it's amazing that the gifts that these people have and the power that they have to do everything they're doing, especially healing. And what's
Right.
so needed right now, you know what I mean? I'm because you just think about back in the day, oh, you just go to a therapist or
Right.
whatever, and this is way beyond that. People don't understand. This ain't this. I mean, there's nothing
It's
wrong
way
with therapy.
beyond that now.
Yeah. I'm talking about people healing you with energy by touching,
Right.
by
Touching you, man.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is stuff that this ain't no just laying on the couch and talk to Professor Ham and Eggs all night. You know what I'm saying? He can help you out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna get you to, where you really need to go. These brothers and sisters out here doing work, man. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so but yeah, bro. Yeah, again, always it was wonderful, man. You know what I'm saying? Please, if you haven't already, check the brother Lovell Rouser. I know mainly on IG and Facebook, Lovell Rouser. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you can hit him up on those channels, and he's very well known individual. So that's all I got on my end, man. I think
Okay.
I might have to press the one of those things that release the air out of my head because all this all this knowledge I got tonight, you know what I'm saying? Or release an air valve, you know what I'm
Okay then.
saying? But Yeah,
At least
but
they have.
that's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Until next time, you know what I'm saying? We keep
Okay,
on
till next time,
keep on
brother.
getting this information out there, folks. Yes, sir. Peace, brother.
Okay,
Thank you for everything.
peace. Thank you. Thank you, everyone listening.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate it.